Have you ever found yourself asking, why me? Why do I always seem to attract the same kind of toxic person over and over again? It is such a frustrating and honestly a really painful question. Well, today we're going to go way beyond the typical advice and dive into a deep, powerful psychological reason for this exact pattern.
You know that feeling, right? It's like you're some kind of magnet for chaos or drama or people who are just unavailable. You meet someone new, the connection feels absolutely electric, and you think, okay, this is it. This is different. Only to find yourself, a few months later, stuck in the exact same argument, feeling the exact same way you swore you never would again.
And it is so easy to just blame bad luck or say the dating pool is a mess or just point the finger at them. But what if the source of this magnetic pool isn't out there at all? What if the reason is actually way closer to home?
So, to really get to the bottom of this, we first need to get super clear on what we're even talking about. Let's really define this toxic attraction pattern.
Does this sound familiar? It almost always kicks off with this incredible, over-the-top intensity. But pretty soon, that feeling gives way to these draining, circular arguments where you just feel completely and utterly misunderstood. And the result? You're exhausted, you feel invisible, and then that horrible, sinking feeling washes over you. Oh no, here we go again.
And this, right here, is the most important part. This is the pivot that changes everything. Repeating this pattern is not a sign that you're cursed or that you just have terrible luck. It's a sign that something much deeper is going on.
Okay, just look at this slide for a second, because this reframes the entire problem. On the left, we've got our usual go-to explanations. It's just bad luck, there must be something wrong with me, or they're the one with all the problems. All of those things leave us feeling powerless. But the Jungian view on the right, it completely flips the script. Bad luck becomes unconscious patterns. Something wrong with me becomes a call for integration. And my favorite, they are the problem, becomes a reflection of a hidden self. This is a huge, empowering shift in perspective.
So the real work isn't about trying to develop some kind of toxic person radar or building higher walls to keep people out. No, the real transformative work is about turning inward and asking a tough question. What part of me is sending out the signal that this kind of dynamic is a match?
And that very question leads us directly to the absolute heart of the Jungian explanation. It's time to meet a part of yourself you might not even know you have. A part that, believe it or not, has been secretly running the show this whole time, your shadow self. You know, the great psychologist Carl Jung himself summed it all up perfectly with this quote. The things we aren't aware of inside ourselves don't just vanish. Nope. They operate in the background, kind of like a hidden computer program, steering our choices, our attractions, and our whole lives. And we're just standing there, completely unaware, calling it fate or bad luck.
So, what is this shadow? Well, think of it like a psychological junk drawer or a basement. It's the place where we've shoved all the parts of our personality that we learned, usually when we were kids, were not okay. And the most important thing to get here is that it's not just the bad stuff. It's anything we were taught to hide away.
So yeah, of course, the shadow has all the things we think of as negative, our anger, our jealousy, our shame. But, and this is the part that might just blow your mind, it also contains our gold. Seriously. If you were told as a child, don't be so bossy, your healthy assertiveness probably got shoved in the shadow. If your family valued being practical above all else, your raw, messy creativity might be down there too. Your untapped power, your spontaneity, it could all be locked away. Okay, so we've got this shadow, this basement full of disowned parts. How in the world does that create this magnetic pull towards certain people? Well, the answer is a fascinating psychological mechanism called projection. Let's break down how it works.
This one simple line explains pretty much everything. Our inner world, especially our unconscious, acts like a movie projector. And the people we meet out in the world, they're basically the blank screen that we project our own hidden stuff onto.
So here's the cycle, step by step. First, we disown a part of ourselves. Let's use anger, since that's a common one. We learn anger is bad, so we stuff it down. Second, our psyche, which naturally wants to be whole, unconsciously starts scanning the world for that missing piece. Third, you meet someone, and you see them as fiery or passionate, maybe even a little bit angry. You're projecting your own disowned anger onto them. And fourth, bam, you feel that intense, almost irresistible pull. You're not actually attracted to them. You're attracted to the missing piece of yourself that you see in them.
So, if the problem is this whole unconscious projection of our shadow, then the solution suddenly becomes really clear, doesn't it? We have to stop projecting it out and start bringing it home. And the path to do that is called shadow work.
Now, shadow work can sound really heavy or mysterious, but at its heart, it's just a process of radical self-honesty. It's about finding the courage to go down into that psychological basement, turn on the lights, and look at what you've stored away, not with judgment, but with curiosity and a willingness to bring it all back upstairs into your conscious life.
And this is why it is the ultimate game changer. When you learn to own your own anger, for example, you no longer need to find it in someone else. The need to project just fades away. You reclaim all that energy, that power, that creativity you push down. And as you become a more whole, integrated person, your point of attraction itself fundamentally shifts. You start becoming a magnet for other whole people, not people who are just a screen for your unhealed parts.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. This is not a war against yourself. It's not about destroying your shadow or getting rid of your anger. It's about realizing your anger has the fuel you need to set boundaries. It's about seeing that your fear holds wisdom. Integration means making every single part of yourself your ally. So we'll leave you with this one question to really sit with. The next time you feel that familiar, intense, almost obsessive pull towards someone, just pause. Instead of looking at them and all their amazing qualities, turn your focus inward and ask this question. Because these patterns, they aren't a curse, they're a curriculum. And that attraction isn't just bad luck, it's a compass pointing you directly back to a lost and powerful part of yourself. So what is your shadow trying to tell you?